Yes, you read that right. I wrote and published a book. This book right here. Yeah, so the book is called The Men's Calling Handbook. A few months ago, I felt really just a passion for young men, and I really felt that I don't just want to keep it like the ideas or the feelings that I have to myself. I want to share them with the world. I want to share them with people outside. And so one of the best ways to do that is by writing a book. And actually when I was living in Taiwan, there was this one man who visited our church, and he was like a prophet, and he would be praying for people and talking with people. And during one of the events, I was in the back of the, what do you call, the auditorium or whatever that place is. And I was just, standing there, listening to the music, worshiping. And he came over to me, the main speaker, and he said, Eli, I don't know when you will do this, but I feel one day you are going to write a book. You're going to write many books. I feel it. And at that time, I was thinking, no, impossible. I can't, I don't believe, because I never pictured myself as a writer. I never pictured myself as a publisher or an author. But when this opportunity came, and can you say opportunity? The thought came in my mind for this men's calling, and I really felt, okay, now's the time. I should, put my thoughts on paper. Not just for the people now, but hopefully, God willing, for the future generations. And I really realized that, when I was writing, that like, yeah, this is something I hope that in the future, even my own son or daughter, they can read this to see who I am or the way I think and my beliefs. And it's not just for the people now, it's for the future. And even like this YouTube channel, like even if like now no one like watches or, I have little subscribers, that doesn't really matter. But if this can be used, maybe even like 30 years, 20 years in the future to bless someone, then that's a win. And especially, again, it's probably very selfish of me, but I consider kind of even like this channel almost like my personal journal for my future children, that when I'm gone, they can watch these videos and see who their father was. Like, how did I think? How did I speak? They can see my young face. If you're watching this son, I love you. If you're watching this daughter, I love you. You're amazing. And, they get embarrassed, whatever. But, it's something that I know, like I can pass on, that will always be here for them. And it just kind of encourages me. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is with the book is, anyone can really do it. If you feel compelled to write something, write it down. You can worry about the corrections or the beauty of it later, but write it down now. So that way, it doesn't leave. Because sometimes when you have a thought and you want to write it out, or you're like, oh, this would be a good idea for a story or something. When we have those thoughts and we don't put them down right away, sometimes those thoughts disappear. And we try to get that same, what's the word, like, inspiration. But the same inspiration doesn't come. It's almost like these inspirations are like little balls of light that just flicker on and off, and you need to grab them at the right time. And so if you have some inspiration, don't waste time, do it now. I'll also use this time to give a little commercial for my own book. The Men's Calling Handbook. It's a book that is very, very short, and even the language inside is very simple, because the focus is for young men. For young men who don't know their calling, young men who don't know what they want to do in their life, young men who want to know how to be a man, all right? So again, I'm not like the utmost authority. I'm not the Pope, but I believe I have some wisdom, and I believe that the Lord has, all the wisdom, because most of my ideas and thoughts is just taken from the Word of God and just throwing it out there on paper, and just some of my own experience from traveling around the world, getting married and encountering so many different young men with different problems. And so each of these weeks in the book, again, it's like a handbook. So Each week focuses on one specific topic. For example, like the father heart of God, sexuality, like what is a man, like who you are as a man, leadership, servant leadership, how to be a leader, but with humility, the correct way, purity, holiness, things like that. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's my own book. Yeah. But these are all things I believe that young men should understand and that they should strive to live out in their day to day lives. And throughout the book as well, there are these different application parts where it's something that you do for the rest of the 7 weeks. So each week there's like a challenge, and you want to keep being consistent with that habit for the whole rest of the 7 weeks, so that at the end of the 7 weeks, you have all these habits that are set that you can continue doing even after you're done with the handbook. So that's just like a quick little commercial for it. And it's down in the description if you want to purchase, or if you know any young men who may be encouraged by it. Anyway, if any of you have an idea for a book, just do it now. And it's so easy to publish. I just used Kindle publishing, and I made an ebook and then also a physical copy book. Super easy to do. It's really not that hard. And I really think anyone can make a book. If you feel the passion, if you feel the inspiration, if you feel the Lord leading you to do it, just do it. Worry about the corrections later. You can find some friend to do that for you. You can, use ChatGPT, or anything really you want. And for me personally, I check myself, and then I also use another person, and then I just run like some grammar check through the ChatGPT. But again, you want your ideas to be original. Make it your own. To have your ideas be personal. Anyway, that's really all I have for you guys today. All right, do your best. See you later.